Good evening, Professor Paulo, people from the MBA, whoever listening to this video. We will present a paper, presentation about the four papers about the contingency and configurational theory, and a history from Machado de Assis. These texts were written in the years, one of them 70s, one of them in the 8s, and two of them in the 9s. These theories are not new. The field of administration, the administration area, is well developing in this time, and we can note that the theories are not wrong. We can get that the influence of the external environment on the companies is very powerful. We can note by the crisis that has just emerged since the 90s, like the crisis of the Mexico in 94, the crisis of Russia in 98, the IT bubble in 2001. All of that was economic or social problems emerging from the environment that affect a lot the companies, so the organizations. So the objective of this text is to understand how important it is to know how to adapt and reconfigure timely when it's necessary. Our first test is about the contingency theory from Tosi and Slocum. They say performance is consequence of the iteration between factors: structure, people, technology, strategy, and culture. They are certainly sure about that. That's a true. Performance is impacted. Just forces, social structure, they will change how the company acts, and it's important to them to know how to adapt from the change emerging on the environment. They also say that contingency is not a theory. It's a set of interrelated propositions orienting strategy. Okay, so contingency theory is not a theory because it's not clear. It's not clear the propositions. It's not clear how it's structured. And it's more like a guide for the strategy. The strategy shall change because the environment change, but it's not like a theory for new strategies. The concepts of the theories are not clear as well. The relation between concepts are not covered by empirical research. So, since contingency theory is more like adaptation for the environment change, it's not an empirical research because it's just molds, it just changes with the wind, with how the market is at this moment. The test about organizational change from Meyer, and Coleman. They say they describe the administrative problem because it's need to reduce uncertainty within the organization system, rationalize how problems are solved. It's important so to understand how to rationalize the system and understand how the problems are solved. It's important to know how it was done in the past to understand how it will be done next. It passed from adjustment. Companies' adaptation has limited fragmented theory treatment because it's highly complex and changeable. They say it's difficult to write a theory about the contingency, about the environment, because it's extremely complex. Any change on the environment may cause a need for another change in the company. So it's extremely sensitive to change in the environment. Organizations has a strategy like to choose a product or a market, and they need to construct mechanisms, structure or process to achieve that. That's they have a strategy, so they decide how to operate, and they will trace mechanisms, structure and process to achieve that. They say that 4 types of strategies. There's the defender, they have a niche and will maintain that. The analyzers, they try to minimize the risk, searching for the increase the profits. The prospectors and the reactors. Well, today is very hard with think a company operating just one area of that. All the companies need to defend their position. They need to analyze best alternatives. They have to readapt. They have to react to the change. So it's kind of hard to imagine when people just acting in one place. If a company decides to just take one path and defend that position, very probably she won't do that. It won't do that for long because the market changes. Mintzberg says Porter used competitive advantage to create strategies, while Peters and Waterman tell to have loose structure. That's the two very hard positions in the area. While Porter will tell you to have a position, to defend your structure, and always or have less cost or have more quality and defend that position. Waterman and Peters will tell you to change, to adapt. Don't have a hard, definite structure that you can change because the market will demand change. Meyer, Tsui, and Hinings, they say contingency theory, configuration theories. Both are influenced by the external environment, but they are not similar. One of them, contingency, is reductionist, and configuration is holistic. Contingency is aggregate components, while the configuration configure the components. One is unidirectional linear, the other is reciprocal and non-linear. One of situational context, the other is exfinality. So it's not the same. It's not the same. It's important. They also say it's important the companies to classify. They need to classify, abstract, and systemize their position. It's very important in strategy to classify, to abstract, because you will not tell the others your strategy if you can abstract and show how it's going to be, how it's going to operate. Both papers mention the importance of technological, cultural, and social relations for the configuration school. They tell about the design characteristics, interpersonal factors, and organizational factors. For Mintzberg, configuration has 7 forces: direction, efficiency, proficiency, concentration, innovation, cooperation, and competition. Although he says the most important are cooperation and competition. It says configuration needs to fit. It's good because it brings order and integration, so it saves from identity crisis. The company knows how it's configured, how the strategy is crafted, so it doesn't have a identity crisis. But he says it's good when you can, but not all companies and not always the companies can have configuration. It's hard to sustain. He also says that it's important to the companies do what's right in the right manner. So it certainly is a good thing to do. The history from Machado de Assis it tells a lot. It's all about a father telling his son how he should act, how he should perform his adult life, and how he can achieve success. So it's all about contingency and configuration, how he can adapt and use the external influence to have more success. But he also says in a moment about the common equilibrium. Everyone will do that way, and it's good to have this harmony, and it will reduce the intellect of the son. It's kind of like the companies are. If all the companies are reacting the same for the contingency, for the environment, it also will be normal. No one will do difference, will be different, having extremely success, because they all are reacting the same. Well, with that we conclude that it's important to be aware of the environment change, and we always should try to discover the best fit for the organizations, how to best interact and react for the environment change. Thank you.